वो इतना प्यार से मत बंद करिए, आ जाइए. Don't worry about the door.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, sir.
How do you like to be addressed? Reenu?
Reenu.
Reenu?
Reenu.
Renu or Reenu?
Reenu.
Reenu means what?
There is no particular meaning to the name. It's a common Christian name in Kerala.
But there has to be meaning to it.
So when I checked online, there are multiple meanings. Some say that it's of Hebrew origin, denoting someone who is amiable and cooperative, but there is no historical consensus to the same. So it is being regarded as a common Christian name in Kerala, sir.
Okay. Your achievements, extracurricular achievements and interests, hobbies, they all, show your trend towards teaching and, content writing and whatnot. So, isn't it a very interesting and rewarding area than getting into the rut of bureaucracy?
Sir, I was actively participating in dance and music while in school, but after that I didn't pursue to higher levels.
I was about to ask you, why haven't you mentioned dance? Because your eyes, your face, your entire body is dancing at the moment. I can see a dancer in you.
But I didn't take it to a university level or a national level, so I couldn't put it that on the dance.
अभी हाथ नीचे ही रखो.
Okay.
हाँ, वो मुद्राएं नहीं चलेंगी उधर इंटरव्यू में नहीं. ठीक है?
Okay.
When was the last election held in your state?
It was in 2021.
The state election?
Yes, the state election.
So it's the next election is due when?
26.
Anytime. 26. And did you vote in that election?
Yes, sir.
You are a voter?
I'm a voter.
Registered voter?
Yes, sir.
Where is the finger mark that you voted? Ink mark? Like this?
It was in 2021.
Acha, mid gaya.
Yeah, it was in Kerala in 2021.
Achha, okay. Never mind. That was in a lighter mode.
Okay.
Tell me, this time in Delhi election, which was over, last week only, the report said that more women voted than men. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. Not particular to the Delhi election. I've been hearing reports saying that women have been determining the electoral outcomes, as in the recent Lok Sabha election also. I've heard reports about it.
So, does it show of some kind of trend emerging?
Sure, sir. It could signify a trend emerging. So we have been pushing for more women-oriented schemes, like we have started gender budgeting from 2005 onwards. So that would signal to more women's participation in politics. So it is an evolving trend which has strengthened recently, sir.
There was also an interesting area of interest in Delhi elections. The previous government, Delhi government, they had made bus service free for women. Okay?
Yes.
Now, what do you think of that? It's a good model, replicable model?
Sir, it's clearly, from an economic point of view, it's clearly a populist measure. Because public transport in itself is affordable for even the marginalized sections, as far as I know from my state and wherever I have traveled. So declaring the public services free for women might not have a significant impact considering the labor force participation of women or as a women empowerment scheme as such. So in my personal opinion, I view it as a populist measure, sir.
But it's not worth replicating in other states?
I don't think, sir. In my opinion, I don't think, sir.
Why
Because it would be a huge burden on the exchequer in the first place. And regarding the outcome of the particular policy also, I cannot articulate a significant objective outcomes of the particular scheme, sir. So why burden the exchequer with something when you cannot list down objective policy outcomes?
Why you think that it didn't translate into more votes for the previous government party?
Sure,
party?
sir. Yeah, that's why I've mentioned it's a populist measure. It would fetch more votes from women, but from an economic and on the larger macroeconomic perspective, I don't think it had much impact on the economy and women empowerment aspect.
Okay, Renu, thank you.
Okay, sir.
But take control of your gestures in remaining part of the interview.
It's something which comes naturally.
Naturally, yeah. But you are not on the theatre stage.
You can keep
It's a different arena.
But you keep your arms, in a very natural way. Don't have to be very conscious about it all the time, So that is the thing. Anyway, you have done economics honors from St. Stephen's.
Yes, sir.
In the recent budget, there is a general criticism about one aspect of the budget. That is, there has been a very drastic reduction in the capital expenditure of the government. And perhaps in their eagerness to limit the fiscal deficit to a certain level. Is it a good budget strategy?
So because the central government has reduced the increased the tax rebate to 12 lakhs per annum, central government had to cut down on certain other aspects. But in my personal opinion, I was also not very supportive of reducing, they haven't reduced the capex aspect, they have increased by very less percentage. So I was not very supportive of not enhancing the capital expenditure. But there is a possibility that with the limited tax burden on the population, the urban consumption would increase. That would again lead to private capital expenditure. So government is not the sole responsible person for capital expenditure in the economy. So if that could lead to more private capital expenditure, I would be happy, sir.
You will be happy.
Yes, sir.
But does it lead to that?
We have to wait and see, sir.
Okay. We have not come across anyone who has opted for IFS as a first preference. But most of the people have put it at 5th place or 6th place or something. That is it. So that way you are unique. Now I would just ask you one question. After Trump has taken over, there's a lot of change in the world. Things are beginning to happen. Everybody is nervous and all that. In this situation, what should be the approach of India for dealing with the world controlled totally by a person like Trump?
Can you repeat the second question?
What should be the approach of India in dealing with the world affairs, the world which is totally controlled by Trump?
Sir, regarding the India-US relationship, I have high optimism because Donald Trump is that one president whose foreign policy is more individualistic. And considering the personal rapport between our Prime Minister and US President, I think things are going to have a positive turnover in the coming period. And tomorrow and day after tomorrow, they are going to have a bilateral meeting. So I have high optimism regarding that. And related to the nuclear policy, AI export policy, and the recent retaliatory tariffs, India has got exemptions. So that is going to continue as far as I could predict. But coming to the other aspect of Donald Trump's expansionism related to the Gaza policy and related to this Panama Canal, Greenland, I think that's not something which should be encouraged, but taking a pragmatic approach.
What did you say? That shouldn't be encouraged, or what should be encouraged, or what?
Should not be encouraged.
Yeah.
But considering a pragmatic diplomacy, we should be focusing on our national interest rather than the multilateral, the global ideas of humanitarianism.
So in that context, I will ask you another question. Recently about 104 people were sent back to India, and they were shackled and handcuffed and all that. For 40 hours, they had to be in the plane in this condition. Now, what should have been the reaction of India? In fact, the External Affairs Minister, instead of expressing our resentment on this, rather he made a statement which is supportive of the action by Trump or Trump administration.
Sir, Dr. S. Jaishankar, as a representative of India, he should be representing the legal point of view rather than the emotional point of view. From an emotional aspect, we felt that incident as unfortunate and disheartening. But as a representative of India, he should be representing the legal standpoint. I think he has clearly represented the legal idea, sir.
But a small country like Colombia did not allow the American plane to land there with the same type of people, deportees. And they said, we will send our plane, which will bring them back. Just contrast it, just compare this with the great Indian reaction. Which do you support, the Colombian position or the Indian position?
Sir, I support the Indian position.
As against the Colombian position?
As against the Colombian position.
Okay, that's good. Good. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, Renu.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
When did India's commitment to gender equality began, with the ratification of which convention?
The UN Convention on Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, all forms of discrimination against women.
What is India's rank in gender gap report?
129.
So if it began with CEDAW, then why is India at 129, which leaves a lot of room for improvement in the gender parity?
So in theory, there have been a lot of improvements. We have started gender budgeting, women-centric policies. But when it comes to the practicality of it, there are a lot of loopholes. So I can list down a lot of issues faced by women in India.
Like?
and majority of them boils down to patriarchy, ma'am. Starting with women's lower female labor force participation rate, the gender wage gap they are facing, the glass ceiling effect, and all of this boils down to patriarchy, which is a deep-seated psychological issue. So starting from schools and universities, we demand that attitudinal change. Then only all the policies we have been designing will come to fruition, ma'am.
Who needs this attitudinal shift? Is it men or is it women?
Both, ma'am, because I have seen women propagating patriarchy also.
Why is that? Why do women become the flag bearers of patriarchy gradually?
Ma'am, they're not doing it intentionally because they have grown up in a situation where the society has conditioned them to accept and glorify patriarchy. So knowingly or unknowingly, they also becomes the flag bearers of patriarchy. They're not doing it voluntarily, but because of the social conditioning, they believe that that is the only truth. So I think that is the reason, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me, can gender be a binary?
No, ma'am.
No?
Gender is a fluid concept. Our Supreme Court has also upheld the same. In the Nalsa verdict, Supreme Court declared transgender to be the third gender. And India, from ancient times itself, we have been accepting of multiple gender identities. Not able to quote some facts, but so considering India's stance, we embrace gender fluidity and we accept LGBTQ community and their right for self-determination, ma'am.
And how does market reinforce gender?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not able to understand.
Not a problem at all. All right. You have also studied sociology. Tell me which founding father, and you've also had interest in teaching. So which founding father of sociology was a teacher to whom we credit the institutionalization of the discipline?
I'm not sure, but Emily Durkheim?
No, it was Weber.
Weber, okay.
Yeah. So tell me one key contribution of Weber to the discipline. Any one key contribution?
Interpretive ideology, interpretive perspective to sociology was introduced by Weber. So he understood different institutions and the coordination and sync between different institutions needed for the value consensus and stability. So the interpretative approach was credited to Weber.
And how would this approach help you to become a good administrator tomorrow?
Sure, sir. Sure, ma'am. It helps me to understand various perspectives and to understand the sync and divergence between various ideologies. And it is based on the fact that it is only when multiple stakeholders come together we could come up with fruitful actions. So it will encourage me to be more inclusive and take a multi-dimensional approach when it comes to policy making.
What was his methodology regarding this? Can you recall that?
Verstehen ideal type methodology. I'm not able to recall the specific details.
No, that much is enough. And how is methodology different from a method?
Sorry, ma'am, I have to read upon it.
All right. Thanks, Reenu.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Reenu, quickly inform us what is base erosion and profit shifting?
Sir, base erosion and profit shifting is a tax evasion strategy where a particular company, where their huge market would be in India, say for example in India, but they would be registered in tax havens like Bahamas or Cayman Islands, so they do not have to pay heavy taxes in India. So that would be base erosion and profit shifting.
What's the test the government of India employs to figure out whether a company is indulging in base erosion and profit shifting?
So there was the OECD G20 framework of minimum taxation of 20%. So they would check the principal business activity of a particular company, and if it's in India, they have to pay a minimum tax to the Indian government.
You come from Kerala?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of Neelakurinji?
Neelakurinji, yes, sir.
How many years after does it bloom?
12 years.
And how is it different to Methukurinji?
I'm not aware of
Have you heard of Methukurinji?
No, sir.
Okay. Read up on it though. You like watching sitcoms?
Yes, sir.
Name me your favorite sitcoms.
Friends.
Friends. What's the biggest criticism of Friends?
From my perspective?
Yeah, from an audience perspective.
So one thing I felt wrong about Friends was the portrayal of a transgender community. Chandler's father is a transgender person and he has been ridiculed and mimicked all throughout the series. So that is something which I find offensive, sir. So that is one criticism.
Any other?
And second would be about the idea of toxic relationship. The Friends series circles around Ross and Rachel's relationship, and I perceive that relationship to be somewhat possessive and toxic. So the propagation of toxic relationship is also something which I don't agree to.
Can you recall any person of color being portrayed in Friends?
No, sir. I am not able to recall.
Any other sitcoms that you have seen?
Big Bang Theory I have seen.
Can you recall any person of color in that?
Yes, sir. The character Rajesh.
Okay, good. So that's the biggest criticism now, is it not?
Okay. Yeah,
Good,
yes,
okay.
sure.
You were a mediator for group discussions in the college society.
Yes, sir.
Mediation. You did mediation how?
So you have to be a neutral person and you have to initiate conversation between two parties. There were multiple parties, so you have to initiate a conversation between everyone, and one has to make sure that each and every person who's participating in the group discussion gets a chance to speak up.
So you're an organizer, essentially.
Not an organizer. I have to read upon the subject a lot so that I can manage all of their arguments. I did not organize the event as such.
Okay. So would you be a mediator or would you be a debater? Which one is more fun?
Mediation is more fun.
Why so?
Because you could listen to conflicting arguments and you don't have to be emotionally charged about a mediation. But when it comes to debate, it takes a lot of our energy and emotions to win our argument. But when it comes to mediation, there is no pressure on winning the argument or anything. You just have to be the good person there and mediate between two
So
parties.
you'd rather be the umpire than the player.
Sometimes.
Thank you, Renu.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Renu.
Okay.
Very interesting. Very interesting to talk to you. We see you again in few minutes. We will have to wait outside.
Okay, sir.
Aye, please sit down. Renu, it's the board feels very happy having interacted with you. And
Thank you, sir.
you, in fact, we were on the receiving end. You performed very well, very good answers, very well articulated, a range of questions given to you, and very well handled, and very conclusive kind of answers. You were not hesitant. Strong opinions, though they need not be as strong when you are facing the UPSC. But surprisingly, that why did you have to take 4 attempts in the past to arrive here? You think this is the right time? You waited for this time?
So this exam is very unpredictable, sir. So
This is a good time, no?
yes, sure.
You will do very well, and we are very sure, and we pray and hope that you get your first choice straight away.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Tell me one thing, I mean, on India's, you supported India's stand on this deportation issue by America. What grounds you have in mind?
Because me aspiring to be a foreign service, foreign servant, whatever happens, I have to take support the stand taken by India. So that was the rationale for the unconditional support given.
No. This answer is no good. You can't tell the board there that because our government has taken this stand, you know, there your personality is being looked at, is being assessed. How analytical, how clear, and how independent you think. Government may be erring in its thinking. What did the External Affairs Minister, what did he say about it?
They were following this SOP, standard operating procedure.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure that they, in fact, nobody has been talking, and I thought that there could be stronger reasons which you can give in case, you know, of a situation arising. Stronger reason to my mind is that most of these in fact, all of these deportees were comparatively new. They had just crossed over. And they had crossed over violating all possible laws, hopping and passing through various countries through foul means, paying money and all that. So, I mean, this probably, I mean, it amounts to a kind of a symbolic representation by the US that you deserve this punishment. So, I mean, yes, because US couldn't punish them, isn't it? But at the same time, I mean, it is not only a human rights issue, it's definitely more than that, security issue also. They violated all laws. They could have created some bloody ruckus on the plane. They wouldn't bother where the plane, you know, drowns in the process. Not happy.
No, really, I know.
Okay. All the very best to you, but like on so many occasions, when member said to you something or provided information, you said yes, yes. Foreign service would say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Not only yes, it's a formal occasion. So try and avoid strong opinions, try and avoid going against the current thinking, but at the same time, don't defend government position or any position for that matter if you feel that no, there is other side also to it.
Since it was a matter of foreign policy, I thought I should extend the unconditional support. That's why.
All the best to you.
Okay.
But you are not yet a foreign service officer. You are at the interview stage.
And
They are interviewing you. Maybe you will be put in the IAS. Who knows? So they are interviewing you. They are trying to find out your capacity to think rationally, objectively, and critically. These are some of the things, which will be tested. And there, if you are going all out in support of whatever the government does, that means you don't have a mind of your own. So they will get that impression. And then secondly, that emotional content is missing in your approach. That is the problem, You just brush it aside, that this is, emotional. One should not be emotional in dealing with these policy issues. If you just take out the emotional content, what remains then? It's a mechanical kind of thing. You can't deal with foreign policy also in a very mechanical way. That's not how it is.
Can I add something now that I remember something? When I ask you that can gender be a binary, I was looking for a more sociologically informed answer, right? As students of sociology, we would know that gender is not a biological construct. It's a socially conditioned and culturally nourished sort of a construct, right? So when you say that India and its culture has had transgenders in the past, that's a cultural construct we need to keep in mind, right? So every time you're asked a question with a social implication, try and answer sociologically informed.
okay.
Or Shikhandi played a major role.
Shikhandi only she was indicating that. She could not remember the name. Yeah.
Good old Shikhandi in Mahabharata,
Shikhandi,
He played a major role in that. He was transgender.
I could understand that she was indicating towards him, but usko
I
naam yaad nahi aa
I
raha
couldn't
tha. Yeah.
recall the name Shikhandi.
Thanks.